Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got a fantastic rack, I've got the blank, and I have a bingo. I can see florins, and nothing else is going to score higher, and it didn't put vowels next to premium squares. And this is a pretty good pickup. I could have a second bingo. I've got the ing ending, and I've got the un beginning. I would have unerring through an N, and there is an N. Fantastic. Through a G, I would have re-urging. Is there a 7 here? I don't think grewing is good. That's 2 Gs. So I don't think I have a 7-letter bingo ending ing. I've also got the IER ending. Gurney are not good. So I'm not seeing a 7. Let me consider the floaters. I was keen to get my initial bingo down in case opponent aborted. If now they abort the game, I would gain ratings points, but hopefully they won't. Oh wow, fantastic bingo by opponent. Bleaters, board is wide open. So opponent has not blocked unerring because UR is good. But are there any other bingos? Let me consider the 2 double lanes. There's row E with a T. Not seeing anything there. And column 5 with an L. No, and perhaps I should have come to row A first because it is a triple lane. Do I have a triple? Well, I'm not seeing any bingo through that B. Unerring is a really lowly score, so let me consider the other floaters in case I've got a play which gets doubled. So I haven't considered the E yet. What about the A? Possibly raungier. That doesn't fit. T I've considered. E doesn't get doubled. And F, no, so I'm not seeing anything else. Ah, great, this doesn't open row O. Unerring 464. Wow, that's a pretty good selection of 7 random tiles. Could I have a third back-to-back bingo? Not seeing a 7. Nano Tesla as a 9. Pentanol with a P. Duplicate N with the L. Slightly non-bingo-y. Now, I think there's an anagram with the F. But I've got a feeling I've tried fentanyl before and it's not right. Or I've tried something else and fentanyl is right. So let me check that. Not good. Does it have an anagram? Great, no bingo for opponent, so I retain a lead. I've got bonnet in row A as a non-bingo for 27 points. However, a bingo would be much nicer, and there are quite a few floaters on the board. I would have Asian through an I with L-E-N, not seeing anything. So let me consider the floaters in order. B. I've got the double ending. Not seeing anything. L. No. F. So, fontanelle. I think fontanelle is correct. Let me consider the other floaters. Nothing with the L. How about the O? No. R. No. R in a different position. I've got the non-prefix. Ation I've considered and not seen anything. I've also got the anti-prefix. Tensional through SI. N. No, and G. No, so this is what I'm seeing. I think this is good. Fontanelle for 74. And it is. Fantastic. Oh my word. And I've drawn in works. And that takes 2 front hooks, P and T. So I've got tin works down from the T of implant. Wow, will that stay available? This is a crazy, crazy board. No P's. Is there anywhere for in works? I don't think there is. KI is good, SM isn't. And what about another anagram? It's unlikely W and K don't go well together, but I do have no and work as component parts. So work with INS. And I also have skin. Not seeing anything with the B. Great, Tinworks remains available. That doesn't get doubled. I lead by 90. Has opponent provided? Gosh, so close for inworks. Ria is good, she is good, but can has a sticky S. So cans is good, but can isn't. Implant only takes an S. So there really isn't anywhere for inworks. But I'm still looking for alternatives to tinworks. Floating O. No. R. No. I. N. G. No. Oh well. Tinworks 466. And I have drawn injects, so I have 4 back-to-back bingos, and I have a 5th on my rack. I don't think there's anywhere for it at the moment, and I think it's unlikely that there are any 8s with this rack. Now, 47 for opponent, so my lead is not sufficient to guarantee the win, but it is reasonably healthy. Column 2 is a 7-letter lane, but injects doesn't play. Just checking that. Any other 7-letter lanes? Implant only takes an S. Nothing available either side of Tinworks. So I would have ejections through E and C. Let me consider the floaters on the board. Nothing with B or L. O. So I've got con as a prefix. Not seeing anything there. R may be available. So I would have injectors through O and R. There's I and O. There's M and R. There's E and N. A, G. No. Okay, my bingo run does end. Can I get value from the B? Biject, not good. Jib is good and would leave a decent rack leave. And 36 points, that's pretty handy. Can I score any more? What about a play down onto the P? No. 13 minutes on my clock. JO is good, but I can't get that to score twice. Now, I didn't consider N and R or R and K. Such a shame if I am missing a fifth back-to-back bingo, but I'm not seeing it. So Jib takes out the triple-triple threat, which would give opponent the lead, and leaves a pretty handy rack lead, which goes extremely well with the O of florins. So, pretty good rack. Through an E or I would have Centoses, Centosis. Contessa onto an A. Board starting to get a little tight for bingos. Column 2 is good for bingos with an R, because it could end R or RS. 25 for opponent. I've still got a 100-point lead. But do I have a bingo with this rack? Opponent has taken out EN. Ag only available for a play which begins SAG. Row C is a 7-letter lane, but it would need to end in a vowel, not an S. I don't have anything which goes in front of ya. Oh, wow. What a frustrating rack. Looks really good, but suddenly there are very few floaters on the board. Not seeing any extensions to Jib, which get tripled. I don't want to open the board. My C could go in front of HE. So I could play chest. Only 24 points. Wow. Tricky board. Tricky rack rather to deal with. And such a super bingo-y rack as well. What am I missing? Yard takes an S. 11 minutes on my clock. What a whirlwind start to this game, but suddenly things getting a bit more serious now, a bit trickier, harder to see, well, really any candidate plays, which is frustrating. I don't particularly want to open the board up, even though I've got a fairly bingo-y rack. Still one blank to come. I'm looking at the C as a scoring tile. Maybe chest is the play. Keeping an equal number of vowels and consonants doesn't feel great. What am I missing? What would hasty do? OK is good. OES for 16, leaving all consonants. That's pretty rubbish. I'm minded to play chest, painful as it is. It doesn't take any front hook, so it's really providing nothing for opponent. I'm going with this. And not a good rack. Duplicate O and the V. But the board is open enough to deal with this. Grade only 17 for opponent. G takes an A and U in front. So my priority is to get rid of V and O. Now through an E I would have nose dove. No E available. So where can I play V and O? Opponent has taken out a spot for void and ovoid. I don't have an I for ovoid coming through the O of florins. Now maybe last turn I missed the opportunity to stick an S on the end of implant. I could play oven. No S's to come. Interesting. So I can play oven, and I've got the S for going after oven, so I could draw a scoring tile which goes on this double letter square, and the rack leaves not terrible. I am going with this. Wow. Rack continues to deteriorate, but fortunately I've got a 140-point lead. And I don't think I've got a 5-letter play beginning SP or S anything. 32 for opponent, so I'm still only 110 points ahead. I need to keep scoring. 21 tiles in the bag, only 7 minutes on my clock. Very few, if any, good squares for scoring tiles. Maybe just play FUD to get rid of the junk, keeping SP for row O, providing nothing for opponent, maybe tempting them into playing in row D. Only 17 points. I could play fouled, but I think I'd like to keep one vowel on my rack. Yeah, I'm going with this. Wow, I draw a lot of vowels. In fact, that's all I draw. I have spode in row O. 41 points, pretty good. 18 tiles in the bag. Not seeing a 7 with this rack. There could be an 8, but none has come to mind. Jib takes an E and an S, possibly a B as well, but no B's to come. And there could be a 5-letter extension of jib, but I haven't thought of it. Spode does open bingo lanes, but I'm far enough ahead, I think, to survive one, especially after getting the 40 points for Spode. Great, now opponent actually takes out bingo lanes. Wow, I have Exopod. Is that better than Spode? 32 points. 41 for Spode. I think Spode is better. Or is it? The trouble with Exopod is it provides easy access to column 15. So I prefer Spode. Let me count the remaining vowels. 12 out of 23. So I could have 7 vowels on my rack. But that's not as bad as 7 consonants. Spode is not creating any new bingo lanes. Yeah, I am going with this. And I don't draw all vowels. And this is quite a good balanced rack as we approach the pre-end game. Now, last turn I would have had sop and chins. Only 35, so Spode scores more. And I provided a nice 3-letter spot. Opponent may go there, but if they don't, I've got gay, G-E-Y. X, not a particularly useful bingo floaters, although there will be some. Now, row D, I've got Yogi, which is quite tempting. Not many bingos have a Y in 4th place. And it's 34 points. I lead by 130, which is a pretty decent lead. I'm close to words beginning gynoe, G-Y-N-O-E, but no N and no bingo has come to mind. So, will I play yogi or gay? Still a blank to come. Y just doesn't look like it's going to provide a triple or indeed any bingo. An opponent will have only one shot at bingoing in that spot. So still quite a lot of vowels to come. In fact, more so than before since I've drawn consonants. Now, clever move from opponent. V takes a U in front. I don't have one. But I think, therefore, I'm going to ignore that threat because I can do nothing about it. FE takes nothing in front. So this is what I'm thinking of. Gay for 28. Pretty decent score. Setting up another scoring spot. Ego is good. Retaining a consonant, which is good. Am I missing anything? Kex doesn't take anything after it. Any other big spots for my Y? I don't think so. So gay for 28. And I missed the U's. Opponent may have both of them. And they may be able to bingo out adds. Well, out adds doesn't play because chin blocks it. Well, if opponent bingos, they bingo, but I have the Z for score. Where can I score with that? Gosh, I have E, I and O, and it's A and U which go in front of G. And between G and ID. I can't play ZO because ZI can't be extended. So not a great rack for the Z. I have O's in row H, which is quite nice. 39 points, that's a pretty big score. Not seeing any bingo with this rack, 7 or 8 letters long. So 5 tails in the bag. Opponent may play elsewhere and leave column 1 alone if they don't currently have a bingo. Okay, well, they do. They've emptied the bag. I can see what they've got, AADOU, so they're not going out in 1. Can I go out in 2? 4 minutes on my clock. If I play O's, I would have CIIM. I don't think I'm going out with that. I have Tozy, keeping CIM, keeping Mike. So I may be able to go out with that. But it doesn't feel like a great spot. SETI is good. If I had 2 O's, I could play Orzo for a big score. Not seeing anything else through the O. Only 3 minutes on my clock, so I don't have terribly long to find a play. Onto an A, I would have Zoecia. So what were the candidate plays I identified? This was one of them, Tozy. But can I go out with Mike anywhere? And I am looking to go out with Mike, not just get a decent score somewhere. 3 minutes on my clock. Crim doesn't fit. Maiko doesn't fit. Unerring doesn't take anything in front, so that isn't looking good. Now, Z is good. Do I have any EZ words? No. Well, there must be something pretty decent here, but it's eluding me. In which case I should probably go for the highest score that I can see. So painful if there is an out in 2, though. 2 minutes on my clock. Is there an out in 2? Zoic is good. Does that play anywhere? And azoic also. So Zoic plays here. Well, I'm not going out with that. I think I've spent enough time looking. Ooze for 39. So this is my rack. I don't have a 4-letter play. Not seeing a 7. I have Ms in column 14. I've set up opponent for Zax. So they've got add. Yep, for 25. They're probably not going out with AOU, so I may have 2 plays. Can't see anything bottom right. 1 minute on my clock. So I can play moi. Am I going out with CI? I have sick and I have iced, so yes, moi for 17. And I was just pausing because I could have played MI and QI, but moi scores more. So does opponent have an out with AOU? I think it's unlikely, not many floating consonants, but they have 11 minutes to find it. Great, 500 points, always nice to hit that landmark. So where's my best out? 6 scores 8, tick, scores 10. Iced scores 7. Okay, so great, just 6 points for opponent. Sick and tick are both blocked. 1 minute on my clock. Is iced best? Yeah, not seeing anything better, although there could be. And the final score, 406 to opponent, 509 to me, a winning margin of 103 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game, and what an amazing start. So it was me to go first, and I had florins and a bunch of other alternatives. Frivol's quite nice because the V prevents parallel plays. Great opening rack from opponent. And they bingo. So I saw unerring. What I missed through the L of florins was rulering and also the L of bleaters, but those were the only other bingos. Wow, missed bingo from opponent. Pilot men playable through the O of florins. Tricky one to see. They play implant. And fontanelle, the only bingo, so delighted to spot that. Opponent plays Yar, and now here we go, my 4th back-to-back bingo. Tin works, and it's the only one, and I have a 160-point lead. Opponent plays here, and I have injects, and nowhere for it. So the best on offer, M7, Genets, that's nice, for 44. What do I do? Jib for 36. Which is also nice because this is a great rack leave, so I'm happy with my play. Opponent plays Wab. Phew, no missed bingo here. And I played chest for 24, only 6 more points on offer. Yeah, and it's using implants, so costy, quite nice for those 6 extra points. Opponent plays Geo. And H5, lewd, Where's that? Ah, down from the L. Oh, very nice for 27 points. But I think I was a little fixated on getting rid of the V. But oven, although it's 9 fewer points, was also a strategic play setting up my S, which was the last one. The S on the bottom here is on my rack. Now opponent with the blank plays chin. And I play thud for 17. Gosh, which is off the mark. However, look at these rack leaves. They're all pretty awful. So thud certainly had a better rack leave. It had the rack leave of spod. But K5, odds, that is quite nice for 27. Yeah. So opponent's rack. Plays Kex. Exopod I thought about, didn't like setting up column 15, so I went with Spode for 41. Opponent with the blank, but no playable bingo, plays VAE. Wow, plays VAE with neither of the two U's on their rack. And not on my rack either. So I play gay for 28. I could have played eyes, K5. Again, using this column 5 spot. Yeah, not much between those, only 2 points in score. Now, great bingo by opponent, statued. And we're into the end game. Bag is empty. Oh, wow, coups, G6 through this O. Keeping double IM. I'm just looking to see if I could have gone out with double IM. Simmy may be good. I don't think it is, though. And then there's Ooze, which was my play, and Tozy I considered. But I wasn't seeing outs with any of these moves. But what about Cozy, G6? Leaving Moi. Yeah, Moi would have played in column 2. Would it have played anywhere else? Mui would have been blocked by Cozy. Yeah, and I think opponent did play top left, so... Limo. Yeah, so Cozy would have guaranteed an out in 2. I didn't see that. I played Ooze. Opponent's got Add. No out for me. I play Moi for 17. Opponent doesn't have an out. They play Tor, and finally Pick for 7. Same score as Iced for 7. So what a crazy, crazy game, starting with 4 back-to-back bingos. But opponent played really well, and I was never far enough ahead to be assured of the win. They were about 100 behind, and there was still a blank to come, and eventually they did get their bingo down, but it wasn't enough at the end, and I was able to run out the winner and score over 500 points, which is always great fun. So many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.